Hi, this is Miss Wright, and I'm going to go over list one of our S.A.T words. The first word is abstruse. Abstruse means hard to understand. So if something is hard to comprehend because it is very technical, um, very detailed, or of a very high nature, intend rigorous nature, that might be considered abstruse. So this math, whatever it is, would be quite abstruse for Miss Wright. The next word is aesthetic. Aesthetic. And it means having to do with the appreciation of beauty. Everyone has a different aesthetic. Some people like very traditional art, and they might go to the Metropolitan Museum of Art on their day off. Some people like a more contemporary type of art. They may go to the Modern Museum. Some people like graffiti art. Each person has a different aesthetic. Alleviate. Alleviate has to do with to ease a pain or burden. So if you have a headache, there are many ways that you might alleviate it. It could be through massage, acupuncture, taking a pain pill such as Aleve to alleviate your discomfort. Ambiguous. Ambiguous. Open to more than one interpretation. So this sign is ambiguous because we are not sure which way is the right way to go. But ambiguous means that it could, whatever the situation is, it could have various um, ways of making sense. It could make sense in more than one way, or that there is no clear path to understanding either one. Ambivalent. Ambivalent. Simultaneously feeling opposing feelings such as love and hate. And here Homer has the angel on one side and the devil on the other side. Um, he is ambivalent about which decision to make or which voice to listen to. So he's feeling like it could be the angel, it could be the devil. He's not sure which advice to take. Amenable. Amenable. Responsive or agreeable. So if you are amenable to suggestion, you're open to suggestion. You can be persuaded. You can be convinced to go against maybe your original position. So an amenable person is a person who agrees or goes along with whatever the idea is that's being put forth. Amiable. Amiable. Good natured and likable. So a friendly person is amiable. A person who's very helpful and kind is amiable. Ample. Ample. Describing a large amount of something. So this home has an ample amount of space. It looks like a very big home. An ample amount of space. Arid. Arid. Describing a dry, rainless climate. And this ground is quite parched and cracked. So it is because the climate is arid and there is not a lot of precipitation in this climate. Assiduous. Assiduous. This is one of my favorite words and it means hard working. I would love for all of my students to be assiduous. Assiduous. um, and to, do all your homework, study and prepare for your tests as you're doing right now if you're listening to this video. It is important to be an assiduous person. Hopefully, it will pay off in the end when opportunities come your way. You will be prepared because you did the work. Asylum. Asylum. An asylum is a place of retreat or security. Many people in Syria left their country seeking asylum so that they wouldn't be killed during the violence and the bombing. So it is important that um, free countries give people asylum when they're displaced from their homelands. Asylum. There's another definition for an asylum. Asylum can also be a noun, which is a place for people who are mentally ill, may be sent to an asylum. Asylum. Benevolent. Benevolent means kind and generous. So a kind and generous person um, might be someone who gives to charity, someone who helps the poor, someone who helps people in distress, a good Samaritan. All of those people would be considered benevolent. Benign. Benign. Kind and gentle, not a threat to life or long-term health, especially by being non-carcinogenous, so non-cancerous. So this mole on the face is benign because it is not a cancer mole. Benign is often a word used in medical terms, but not exclusively medical. So a benign person is a person who's harmless, not going to hurt you. A benign tumor is one that is not cancerous and is not going to lead to loss of life. Biased. Biased. Biased means prejudiced or um, predetermined to favor one side as opposed to another. So you don't want to go to court and have the judge be biased. You want him to listen to all of the facts of the case and to come up with an impartial verdict. You don't want to feel that the judge is biased. Brittle. Brittle. Glass by its nature is brittle, meaning it is not flexible. It is easily broken when subject to pressure. So something that is brittle is not pliable, not malleable, not flexible, and can be cracked or broken very easily, like glass. Brusque. Brusque. Describing a rudely abrupt manner. So when young men and women go into the army, the drill sergeant is often quite brusque. They're usually very in your face, very intimidating, and they're there to make you feel uneasy on purpose so that you are alert and ready for instructions. Camaraderie. Camaraderie. Goodwill between friends is called camaraderie, and these four look like they must be good friends or siblings. Camaraderie. So, hanging out with your folks, your gang, your posse, whatever, that is a sign of camaraderie that you are all good friends. Cantankerous. Cantankerous. That's almost the exact opposite meaning of the previous word because it means grumpy and disagreeable. So people who are easily angered, agitated, they always seem to be barking orders at people would be considered cantankerous. Sometimes as people get into their senior years, they're full of pain and frustration and they can be very cantankerous. Capricious, capricious. Impulsive and unpredictable. So a capricious person does things on a whim. He or she doesn't make long-term plans. They just get an idea and go after that idea. Oh, let's go here today or let's do that today. But they don't plan ahead. They just are spontaneous. A good synonym would be spontaneous. Catalog, catalog. Most people think of a catalog as a book that comes to your house and you order things, but catalog can also mean to make a list, making an itemized list of something. And in literature, catalog means when an author uh, makes a long list, maybe he lists several characters or several things that are being described, and it just goes on and on and on. That is a catalog within the um, chapter or within the book. Caustic. Caustic. Caustic means bitingly sarcastic or witty. Some people have a very caustic sense of humor, and they can be almost hurtful in their humor because they try to maybe shame or kind of hurt people with their humor. So bitingly sarcastic or witty is the meaning of caustic. Caustic is also like a cleaner that can burn the skin, can be called caustic, like Drano is a caustic cleaner at your house. You're not supposed to ingest it or use it without gloves because it can damage your skin, and if you somehow get it inside of you, it can really cause you to lose your life. The next word is convoluted. Convoluted. Convoluted means intricate or complex. So if directions are very convoluted, they're hard to understand. If a subject matter is convoluted, it's difficult to understand. It may, have many interchanging parts or interchanging ideas, and it's hard to follow. And then we say, oh, this is too convoluted for me. Decorous. Decorous means proper, marked by good taste. So these women seem quite decorous. Each one is quite nicely dressed and put together. They seem, maybe they might be from the upper class. Matter of fact, I just noticed some of them are movie stars. So decorous, proper, they're sitting very properly, and marked by good taste. They're probably at a fashion show. Diligent, diligent. Diligent means marked by painstaking effort, hardworking. And a previous word that was on this list, assiduous, would be a synonym for diligent. Hardworking, being willing to put in the work to understand or achieve or to get good grades or to be the best basketball player or football player. You have to be quite diligent. Disdain, disdain. Disdain means to regard or treat with contempt, to look down on. To regard or treat with contempt, to look down on. So this person seems to be finding fault with something or someone. So if you treat others as though they are below you or something as though it is not good enough for you and you give it a sneer, that would be a sign of disdain. Okay, so those are all our words for list one. I hope it helps you to review and prepare for your quiz and then your mastery test. And good luck to you. Take it seriously, study hard. Remember, next year when you come into the 10th grade, October, you will have your S.A.T test, and you can go back to these words over the summer and refresh your memory so that you do your very best